we started to get involved with you, it was early on as you were thinking about kind of putting the initial plans around material impact together. And one of the things that struck me was just the sheer size of that investable opportunity as I learned more about what you were doing. And that was certainly true pre-pandemic. How has that strategy fared and or evolved subsequent to the pandemic? I'd love to hear how that's played out for you.
So it's probably good for me to level set the strategy itself. And thank you, Alan, for saying that you were intrigued by the size of it. So when you look at, if you just look at even the last, say, 200 years or so, which sounds like a long time, but it's not. And you look at different, times in the world where you've seen a revolution of such, or whether maybe it's an industrial revolution or some kind of commercial change or adoption of something that's fundamentally new and transformative. If you look really carefully and look at some of the best products, many of them were designed around material science, where the thing that made the product really unique was something in the material itself and what it's made out of, or how the product was engineered out of a certain material, how it maybe manufacturing is a part of it. But materials are at the root of a lot of the innovation that sits in these major junctures. And I spotted this. I mean, that's the reason I didn't go into academia. I said I was on track to be a professor. How in the world did that not happen after being at Harvard and having so much support? Well, the thing that I noticed in the environment was, as few professors that may have been out there trying to do some of the things I was thinking about doing, there were even fewer entrepreneurs and therefore even less venture capital money going after things that were outside of, say, biotech. Biotech was getting money at that time, but things that today are starting to get financed quite rapidly, things in agriculture and food and certain components of electronics and wearables and AI wasn't even a thing at that point in time. But these are categories that it was just a scarcity in entrepreneurs and therefore venture capitalists and therefore money around them. But yet what I just told you around innovations at these major industrial, crossroads that created whole areas of industry had so much steeped in material science. And that was the opportunity that got me to decide to pause on academia and to actually become an entrepreneur and work with my academic, community that saw me as one of them. I had academic offers to go to different places, but they saw me as part of their community. And instead I said, instead of me coming on faculty with you, you know what I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be your collaborator and help you understand how to translate your powerful technologies into products and build businesses and stitch small companies to large companies and hopefully get large companies to get access to this. And that was the ecosystem that I built as an entrepreneur and later as a venture capitalist, and today as a managing general partner where that's the focus. Now, Alan, you asked a question about today, like literally today in 2020, what am I seeing? Well, one of the things that is inherent to the kinds of products and companies that I'm alluding to are that the problems are real world problems. So they're the kind of things that no matter what's going on in the world, those problems don't go away. And we know we're in a really unusual moment now where the first time in everybody's lifetime, anyone who's alive right now, we're experiencing a pandemic. There's no blueprint for that. But I'll tell you, topics like climate change, they don't change. They don't go away because you're in the middle of a pandemic. We're going to get a vaccine. I guess we have vaccines being approved. There's no vaccine for climate change. There's no vaccine for trying to feed the planet. The need for clean drinking water hasn't gone away. Health issues haven't gone away. And so these are all topics that, in fact, when other things can get put aside, because you need to focus in 2020 on what matters, those are the things that don't get put aside. So your question about, what am I seeing today? I'm seeing, interesting enough, an even sharper focus where on some of these real world problems where I'm seeing entrepreneurs who maybe traditionally would have worked on less mission critical products that aren't really about keeping the world healthy, fed, safe, warm, secure, empowered. I'm seeing those entrepreneurs come over and want to work on these topics and give me a call up and say, hey, Carmichael, I sold my company doing this particular thing. The next thing I want to work on are the kind of things that, that you are working on. And my partner, Adam, he sees the same thing, as do my other partners as well.